Here we go. Okay, so our health coaching portion tonight, I have a couple of people who are helping me. Megan, Cody, and Jason Adams are going to be coming on, and they're going to be helping with this. And one of the things that Doug was talking to us as leaders about this week is there are a lot of new health coaches, which, can I tell you, that's totally awesome. And this is the perfect time of the year to be starting, because guess what? You're getting your feet under you, you're getting knowledge, you're getting into a momentum and a rhythm. And when January comes and there are a lot of people who are looking for help, you got it. You know what it is. The other thing is that we are planting seeds, because 2016 can be amazing, and it starts about the day after Christmas. But it only starts if you planted the seeds. So when we keep talking about planting seeds, that's the important part, because they're like putting them in a funnel and they all start dropping down. So it's very cool. Be intentional when you're we'll talk about this a little bit more, but when you go to events and holidays, you're going to see people that you only see once a year. This is a chance to bring up conversation and come up with conversation starters that make them ask questions or cause them to ask questions. We're not going to just blubber all over them, but we can ask interesting questions that we haven't asked before. Okay, so let's just say this is your first year and you're being really active. And you could say something like, yeah, we're going to do a 5K. I know we're just going to walk, but the kids and all of us are going to go. I feel so good. Yeah, I would not have done this last year. I'm down 35 pounds and I can't believe how different I feel. Boop, that's it. How are your kids? How are you doing? That person who's looking for health, believe me, that did not go unnoticed. Whether if they say it then or they whisper to you a little bit later, hey, what are you doing? That's a great one. Or if you want to talk about activity levels or a new recipe you came up with, you might say, oh my gosh, we are making the best. Have you ever made spaghetti squash lasagna or cauliflower lasagna? It's amazing. My kids even love it. And say, yeah, a year ago, we just lived on, hamburgers. We didn't, and regular pasta. We didn't know, but oh my gosh, we feel so different. So whatever aspect you feel like would help them, that's authentic, feel free to share it. Just bring it up. It's part of you. We're not projecting it on them. We're inviting them and telling them how great it is of what we're experiencing. So I'm going to bring up my PowerPoint here. Now, I know that not all of you are new health coaches, but it just happens to be the title of this PowerPoint. So I'm going to get you started here. And one of the reasons I love this is because it is the greatest time to start off and to start off strong, because your timing is now, as we were just talking about that. So Jason, are you on, and would you be able to come and share with us a little bit?
Hi, Paula. I'm here.
Hey, Jason. Thanks so much for being on.
Sure. All right. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about sharing your story. And I see Paula's got some notes written down. And then also I'm going to talk just a little bit about the structure of it, because that really was helpful for me once I understood the structure a little bit more. But yeah, be real, be enthusiastic, just be yourself, because that's what people want to see. They want real. They don't want scripted. They don't want to, sound like a commercial. Just be yourself. I mean, that's exactly what people are looking about. Now, be concise, because one thing that we have a habit of doing is getting so excited about Take Shape for Life and wanting to tell every single thing and every recipe and all about, how good the brownie bakes are. And, that's just too much info. That's just overload. That, they don't know what they don't know yet. And they're like, wow, I don't have time for all this. That's just way too much. So be concise, get your points, just be right to the point and just hit those big, if you lost, like I lost over 60 pounds in 4 months, like that's the point I'm going to make sure I hit. I'm going to make sure that I say that I have lots of energy because I have 3 little girls at home. But then I'm not going to, take 5 minutes to explain that. That's going to be like 30 seconds to explain that. Be relevant. If someone is, let's say exercise is really important to them. I would not go, oh, and you don't have to exercise. Because right there for them, they're going to be like, well, this is not for me because I have to exercise. And then that's when you are talking to them and finding out their why and what they like to do, what they're looking for. You'll kind of be able to kind of cater your story to them a little bit more. And if it is somebody that likes to exercise, you could say, well, what's great is you can exercise. We'll just have to cut it back a little bit. And conveying your story in a way that will inspire, that's just really showing somebody, painting that picture like this is what it could look like for you. I'm at a weight now. Actually, I went back on because I wanted to lose a few more pounds. I want to see if I can hit the 170s. So I'm at a weight right now that I haven't been in 18 years. And that to me is just crazy, first of all. But that's inspiring to people because there's people, that we have clients that are at a weight they haven't been in 25 years. I mean, just paint that picture for somebody like, wow, I could be the weight I was in high school. That's crazy. So, and yeah, meet them where they're at. Where were you? How are you feeling? And how you felt before you started? You a little bit scared, nervous, apprehensive, kind of just wondering what this is all about. For myself, I'm kind of I want to believe it, but for some people, they're kind of a skeptic. And so just kind of understand that just because we know how great it is, they don't know how great it is. And then I just want to touch real quick on the structure of your story, which I think should be helpful. When you want to break it down, you just want to break it down of where you were before you started Take Shape for Life, how you were feeling, if that's medically, physically, if you're tired, overweight, if you were considered obese, whatever that was, where you're at now. You are down 30 pounds in 2 months. You have energy. You feel great. You're getting off medication. And then where are you going to be with Take Shape for Life? Where is it taking you? What are you excited about? Are you excited to be able to work out? Are you excited because you're no longer diabetic, no longer on blood pressure medicine? What does that look like? So paint that picture at the end. So I hope that helps a little bit. Where you were before you started, where you're at now, and where you're going. All right. Thanks, Paula.
Jason, thank you so much. I mean, that really puts it into a nutshell, because we have to go back and remember where we were. You're absolutely right. Once we're down 30 or 40 pounds and we're at our healthy weight and it just goes on, all at once it almost seems normal again, right? But remember when you first were there, you were beside yourself. You were so excited. You felt hopeful again. And so that's the enthusiasm we still need to talk about because it's a big deal. Pretty soon we're like, well, it's only 30 pounds. Jason lost 60 or whatever. But it is. It changed your life. So, Jason, thank you. Where you were, how you were feeling, where you are now, and what you're excited about. Yeah, sure. Jason, would you mind just kind of giving us an example? I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but kind of putting those all in together. And people don't always know how to put it together.
Oh, sure. Okay. So, I mean, this is my story, which I've probably, told I don't know how many times now. But I just kind of start with, I struggled with my weight for about 17 years. I was a yo-yo dieter, tried all kinds of different things. I had high blood pressure, was snoring a lot. And then also I had heartburn constantly. But that wasn't really enough to make me do anything. It wasn't until I saw some photos from the beach at a vacation with our family, and I looked at those and I just realized that is not the person I wanted to be. So I decided to do something, and I just happened to see a friend who was on the program. He's lost 35 pounds in 6 weeks, and I just was like, what are you doing? And I decided to do it. I lost 62 pounds in 4 months. My blood pressure is regular. I no longer snore. I haven't had heartburn since being 2 weeks on the program. And I'm just excited that I finally have control of my health. I've kept it off for 10 months now. And I know that I finally have this control in my life where before I've never felt like I had it in control. So that's kind of my story I always tell.
Awesome. Jason, that's perfect because you had all of those in there and you were like I don't know, less than 90 seconds. I didn't have a timer on. I forgot to do that, but it was very concise and quick. Remember, people are going to be noticing and they're going to say something. We don't just say thank you. We need to have something after that. Thank you. I feel great. Yeah. I just can't believe I would be able to be in this size, or, have a follow-up besides thank you, because I know many of new coaches will say, I just told everyone thank you, but I didn't actually even engage. So be on purpose. Okay. Megan, Cody, would you come? Oh, sorry, Jason, this is you. I apologize.
Okay. Okay, so we are talking a little bit about Facebook.
Yeah, right? When people come on at first, people are so excited, they just throw everything out there. And there's really a sequence that is done most effectively. And you and Eileen, of course, have done that, like the masters of it, and you're helping a lot of people and a lot of coaches do it right. And would you just kind of give us an example of what that would look like?
Sure. I think I kind of got lucky with that because I really wasn't on Facebook at all. So that wasn't my first thing that I was going to do. I really started just by talking to people and going, hey, you guys should check this out, what I'm doing. And that's kind of what we do with our 5 to 10 list, right? Is we're going to think of the people that we really want to see get healthy, and we're going to reach out and talk to them. Because I see Facebook as like, your ace in the hole. Like, that's your big hitter. And if you go out and throw out right away on Facebook and say, oh, I'm doing MetaFast, it's so amazing, I'm a coach for it now, that basically just wasted your biggest tool that you had, because Facebook is amazing. How else are you going to reach that many people all at once? But that's where you just want to really work with your coach, get your verbiage down, make sure that you get the best bang for the buck with your post. And I wouldn't, Paula, I don't know how you feel about this, but even just putting something out there like, I'm so excited about this new program, this new program I'm doing, I'm down 10 pounds in 2 weeks. And then just leave it. Don't put your before and after photo up yet, because again, that is like your big hitter. Like, you're really going to get out there and go, okay. And then Facebook is really, one is posturing yourself as a health coach, as somebody that people are going to think of when they want to get healthy. If I'm posting a bunch of cupcake recipes and big pictures of burgers and fries, people are not going to be like, oh, well, Jason's really getting healthy. They're going to be like, oh, Jason didn't change at all, because that's what he used to do. And so just be careful about that. We do want to be ourselves, but we want to also show that we are getting healthy and that we are someone that they could trust, because, a lot of times, people aren't, quote unquote, buying the program. They're buying you, because they're like, you know what? I see what you're doing and I really like it, and I want to kind of join up with you and do this. And so again, with throwing out MetaFast or Take Shape for Life, the one thing about that is we're not trying to hide it from anybody, but we are kind of trying to save people from going out and getting a false representation of what we are, because somebody's uncles, sisters, brothers, half cousin did MetaFast 20 years ago and didn't like the taste of a vanilla shake. So that's what they're going to base their opinion off of, instead of understanding the value that this is. And it's not about the food, and it's, and obviously MetaFast has grown in the last 25 years or whatever that is. But Google is just, you're going to have half the people that hate it and half the people that love it. And where are those people going to go? Which way are they going to go? They're probably going to go more the skeptic way and say, oh, this is not for me. So that's why we try and not throw that out. And we just want to get people on a phone call so we can find out their why and see how Take Shape for Life can help them.
Perfect. Jason, thank you for reiterating that. What about if someone says, or have you, let me ask you this, we can all just be transparent here. Have you ever tried to explain the program in email or Facebook or text?
Yeah, when I first started, I did. Yeah.
How did it go? How many of those are clients?
Yeah, not great. And that wasn't until my coach said, "Stop doing that." And I was like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, I totally did that and then I take Shape for Life all over them because I told them everything, right? And that was just, learning and figuring that out. But luckily, I did learn, and I listened to my mentorship and Coachable and Teachable, and they said, "This is why we do it." And I go, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." And just like we're talking about right now, and again, that's not getting to their why, just giving them the how before the why. And they don't understand. They don't understand the cost versus value. They're just going to understand that, oh, well, that's $350 a month. Wow, okay. I don't know that's offset. And again, once you do the program and the cost, who cares what the cost is because the value is so high.
Absolutely. And I will admit, I have done that a few times, not for a few years, but even in the case where I had really actually went through a complete profile and chatted and found out someone's why, and they really wanted it really a lot, and then I didn't hear from them. And so it was like 3 and 4 months later, they reached out to me and said, "Okay, I think I'm ready. Now, what's the price again?" Well, not very smart me, because I always felt like, they already knew. But the truth is they forgot to. I need to go back and ask that why again, because that's part of stirring up their desire for health. So anyway, I think we've all made the mistakes, and I've probably done them all twice. So anyway, but they don't work. I've never reached a client through any of those. Now, it's great for a secondary support, but it's not a purpose to have them become a client.
Yep. And also, Paula, I mean, we are obviously duplicating. So if somebody becomes a coach later on, there's a good chance that they might just duplicate that process that we did in the first place.
Exactly. And Jason, I don't think you did about the responding to comments, but when somebody says, "Hey, what are you doing?" and you do put your before and after photo, that great line, which is perfect. "Oh, I feel amazing. I'll private message you." And someone else, "Oh, well, what are you doing?" "I feel great. I can't wait to tell you about it." That's all we really want to say, because guess what? The people down in the next comments are saying, "Me too, me too." But if we blurted it all out in the replies under those, because those are now on Facebook, we have the opportunity and we reply and answer all these questions. The people who are kind of curious feel like they have enough information. And the truth is they still don't hear our hearts and what our program really has to offer. They just think, "Oh, yeah, I kind of think I know I've heard about those programs where you eat 6 times a day, drink a lot of water." But they don't hear you, and they don't hear about the habits of health. So.
Yep, and how excited you are about it.
Exactly.
Paula, I have someone right now that I'm trying to get on a phone call, and they won't connect on a phone call. And they keep asking for something. I'm like, "Hey, I don't know what you need. We just need to hop on a phone call real quick so I know what program is going to fit you best, and then we could talk about everything."
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's the perfect answer when somebody says, "How's much is this going to cost?" Well, I don't really know. I have to hear your goals and what would be a good fit for you. Jason, thank you so much for sharing.
Thanks for having me on, Paula. Appreciate it.
So we want to go to Megan Cody, and she's going to talk with us. She's a master at this, and that's why she's the one sharing this. Megan supports a huge group of coaches and clients at the same time, along with 2 little ones, one infant, and one toddler. And so Megan has not only has she used the 3-way calls, but she's also facilitating them for her coaches. And so there's no one better to explain it than you. So Megan, would you come and kind of just give us some tips on that?
Thank you, Paula. You're really too kind. I appreciate it, though. Yeah, we up in the Cody household, we have to leverage our time. So hopefully I can give you guys some great tips. I've been blessed to be coaching now for almost exactly 2 years, and I feel like I've learned a lot from this. Even just 2 years ago when I first started coaching, we weren't quite doing things this way then in Take Shape for Life. So it's been a growing experience, and it's been so cool to watch my coaches and my coaches and et cetera launch off really quickly by utilizing these things I'm about to touch on, and launch off faster than I did as a new coach. because of listening to what their mentors say. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, so when you decide you want to be a coach, we're just going to take it from the beginning, the basics, because we have so many brand new coaches on here. You want to start out first with your list, your top 20. If you want to make more than that, that's great. But let's try to start with at least the top 20, 25 people that you would love to get healthy. And you don't need to plan out how you're going to talk to them. You don't need to plan out like, oh, what are they going to think? Like, what am I going to say? Just who are the top 25 people that are the closest to you? I like to start with the close people first in your life that you might want to reach out to and might want to share this gift with. And then you're going to work with your mentor of how to work through those and start doing connection calls. And so remember what Jason was talking about with your story. Fine tune your story with your business coach. Just give your business coach a call and say, hey, can you listen to this real quick? And run that by them. They're going to be able to tweak and help you, especially because you want to keep it at 60 seconds. Like Jason said, it's like when you're new, you're just so excited. And I mean, I'm even 2 years in, I still get excited. I'm like, okay, refocus. So find your story and you can start doing those connection calls, which essentially is just picking up the phone and starting to share with people. And the great thing is, as a new coach, you now have the welcome video or the welcome email coming to you where Becca Tinter talks a little bit about what connecting looks like and figuring out who to reach out to. But essentially you're just calling people or sending messages to people you don't have the phone number for and saying, hey, I'm getting the word out to everyone I know. And you have to discuss this if your business coach is the best way to do connection calls. But basics is I'm getting the word out to everyone I know that I just recently became a health coach. If you know of anybody that's looking to lose 8 to 15 pounds a month or feel better, etc., get off medication, I would like to assist them.
Megan, can you unmute yourself? I'm sorry, I had to mute the group. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. So that's just the very basics of connection calls. I want you guys to connect a little more with your business coach and what that looks like for you. But moving into that, then once you have people saying, hands up in the air, yeah, I'd like to hear more about this. What do we do next? We want to move them to three-way calls. And so why do we want to do that? Number one, third-party credibility. I mean, it's so powerful, you guys. I can't quite express it, but just when you can have that as a brand new coach that your business coach on the line, it brings a lot of credibility to you. Many of your business coaches are certified, and it's just great for that representation as you're starting off. And then also just to model our model to them of how simple it is that we do this together. We're a team. You're not doing this by yourself. So many people have done diets in the past and it was by themselves, and why did they fail? They're trying to figure it out all on their own. So that's so attractive right from the beginning to see that. I know that was really attractive to me that my coach introduced me right away to her business coach. So many people are looking for community, and I think we can sometimes, as in our little Take Shape for Life bubble, forget that. So that's why we want to utilize the three-way calls, and also so that you can learn by observing. How do we do this? You don't need to sit and take a bunch of notes and then go do it on your own. You're just going to learn by observing and being in the moment in a real-time training. And so then how do I invite people? How do I get them on these three-way calls? So what I do once someone is interested is say, hey, I cannot wait to talk to you about your goals. I'm so excited to hear your heart, whatever words work for you best. Can't wait to hear what you're looking to accomplish in 2016. I am also so excited. I want to introduce you to my business coach, or my health coach. That'd be a better word to say. I want to introduce you to my health coach. She or he has been such a great asset in helping me, and they're just so great at what they do and are connected, and I would just love to introduce you to them also because they're part of your support team. If you ever can't get a hold of me for some reason, they're going to be available to you if you choose to get healthy. So I'd love to hop on a Zoom. It's a free app. It's like FaceTime. It's fun. I'd love to hop on Zoom with you. When's a good time that works for you? And I literally will like send them over the Zoom link if I'm introducing them to my mentor, and just kind of posture it as this is what we're doing. I don't really ask like, hey, would you mind doing a Zoom? Would you like to? No. If you posture it that this is the way I do it, here's the link. Can't wait to talk with you at 8, and I can't wait to introduce you to my mentor. She's going to be on the call. they're not going to say no. I mean, they're going to be like, okay, great. This is how she does her thing, or he does his thing. Great. So then once you're on the call, then what? Introduce them to your coach. And this doesn't need to be an awkward thing. Just say, hey, hey, Sally, this is Paula. Paula, this is Sally. I wanted to introduce the two of you. And then I would really encourage you to share just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit about Sally. I know Sally from school. We have known each other for 15 years. We used to be best buds. And Paula is actually my health coach. And she's an amazing health coach. I just wanted to introduce you to her because she has helped hundreds of people get healthy, or dozens of people get healthy, whatever is true, and is really making a ripple effect in Oregon. And she's just really great at what she does. And yeah, it sounds a little bit like you're like pumping up your coach, but there is a strategic reason why we do this, and that is because it's automatic trust is built right then and there. A bridge of trust between Sally and Paula, my example people. Because they don't know Paula. Why do they have any reason to trust her? But if they trust you because you're their friend or you're their connection, and they're reaching out to you, you can build that trust of like, this is why I trust this person. And that's really helpful because then that opens them up right from the get-go. I've found that when a coach introduces me in a professional, nice way like that, that is such a comfortable call. Whereas, and don't beat yourself up if you haven't done it well ever in the past, because I know I've messed this up when I first started. But when I've gotten on calls and they're like, this is Megan. Okay. Hi. And like, it's a little uncomfortable. So if we can just set it up for our coach, it's really, really important. And then, and again, with the importance of three-way calls, it's modeling it. It's the third-party credibility. I'm not going to say it again. I've already said it once. And it's so you can learn from our mistakes, people. Like, let us do the footwork for you in the beginning. Literally, if you sign up to be a coach, all you have to do is invite people to the party, and we'll do the footwork for you and show you how to do it. And yeah, that's pretty much that. And story calls and why they're so important. I wanted to touch on that because there's just a lot of power in doing a story call. And if you're like, wait, what's a story call? That's where you get your health coach on the phone, or your business coach on the phone with one of your clients, or a potential client. And most of the time it's somebody who's already a client, and you get to ask them to, hey, I want to introduce you to your coach, or to my coach, excuse me. And I just think that she's going to be a great asset for you. And I think she would love to celebrate you. That's how you can put it. And the whole point in doing this is to layer coaching if it might be a fit, but also just to celebrate your client. And you're going to also hear things. It's that magic of third-party credibility. You're going to hear things all of a sudden that you have never, ever heard before out of your client's mouth. And don't take offense to it. Like, all of a sudden, Sally Sue is spilling to Paula that she, last week went off program and ate a bunch of brownies, and you're on the phone and you're like, she didn't tell me this. I just did client support for what the hey. Just run with it and utilize your mentorship team, because it's amazing at how they start to share. Or it's something positive like, yeah, I've been seeing all of your posts, and I'm interested in being a health coach, and I've been curious about what Megan does. You're like, I didn't know you wanted to be a health coach. Great. And so utilize your mentorship team for these third-party credibility resources with the story calls. So that's kind of all I really had to. I don't want to add anything else. I want to keep it simple for you newbies. Sorry if it was a little much. But I also wanted to add real quick, because I think Wendy was the name in the chat box, said that, what do you do when you've had somebody sign up to be a coach and a client at the same time, as far as your story? Wendy. Wanted to touch on that because that was me. I actually had no weight loss story, and then you just share from the heart. Like, why did that person choose to become a coach? For me, I had been always really passionate about health, and then all of a sudden I found this really awesome tool and systematic program to help people get healthy. Beforehand, I could give them a few tips and even walk them through a day in my life, but they didn't have a systematic, easy, all-encompassing program. And so I felt like I finally had a vehicle to give people of like, okay, this is what you want. Here's the keys. Now we can go get it together. So that was for me. And that's, I think, a reason why a lot of people sign up to be coaches probably at the same time. Just, I found this amazing gift and I want to share this with everyone. So talk with your business coach about that. But that's all I shared. And then I didn't have a before and after, so I just shared a picture my husband snapped and myself posing, because a good picture goes a long way. And that was it for us. And yeah.
Megan, thank you so much. I sometimes we brush over these and they sound like it's, maybe it's an optional thing, but it is an optional thing because it is your business. But businesses that are growing are doing it this way. It's like if you were going up the top of a mountain on a hike and there's this nice path that people who've gone before have created. They've went around the rocks and the slides and the mud and you're like, no, I think that looks nice, but I like it this way. You may get there, but it's not going to be as easy. And this is the way it works. Your business will grow faster. And you know what? When your business grows faster, it just means a lot of people are getting healthy. So if you feel uncomfortable, work with your health coach. And Megan, thanks for bringing up the importance of the 3-way calls for our first 2 clients that a new health coach is supporting, because you need to hear what that night before call sounds like. I know you're excited and maybe you've been on program for a couple of weeks, but you probably weren't hearing it all when we shared it with you. So if we can be on that one, and then those first few days, we kind of know the signs to ask for, and we also know the tips, and just that encouragement. After we go through a couple, you got it. It's not hard, but just if you don't have it modeled, you won't know. So thank you, Megan, so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, and I like that. So we're not going to be too much longer. I just want to kind of reiterate a few things that are just basics again, but yet they're super important, especially this time of the year. So branding yourself. There is more holiday opportunities than any time, right? There's parties, there's church activities, there's volunteering, there's, you're just getting together with family, extended family. You have a lot of exposure to people that you wouldn't have any other time. It's the great time to reconnect. It doesn't mean that everyone has to hear our story. That would actually be kind of weird. But it means that you can say, it's been so long. Are you on Facebook? I'd love to connect with you. It's been so long. The kids are growing and, you're in Minnesota and I'm here. And, you see how more comfortable that is? Or, hey, it was really fun chatting with you. That would be really fun. I heard you say that you're going to take the kids up hiking, or you've been to a couple places. Could I text you or email you and get a few of those ideas again? Because you're hearing someone who has desire and they're trying, and great. Maybe they just give you a few hiking places, but it's an opportunity to create a friendship. And then social media, Jason did a fabulous job on that. New traditions, okay? We talked about this on the client call, is we're getting rid of some things. We've got to replace them with something fun, right? So again, create events, go caroling, go ice skating, get a group of people together and drink tea and walk city streets and look at the windows, the displays. It doesn't matter. Go to the Nutcracker, go to a concert at the college in your town. Lots of great activities that you can do. Just look in your local newspaper. You would be surprised how many events there are, the lighting of the trees or the parade. But make life fun, but in a healthy way, and keep your body moving. And then basically be where people are. So our business doesn't grow when we stay to ourselves. Our business grows when we touch people's hearts. So some of that is on Facebook and some of it is being out and about. Coffee dates and church and volunteering and working at the Humane Society or whatever you do. And touch your business daily. So some people I just wanted to kind of reiterate that. If you can touch your business every day, just a little bit. Because if you wait and only have 1 or 2 days a week that you're all Take Shape for Life days, you reach less people. So if we can disperse it out, it's great. In finance, they would call that dollar cost averaging. We're not doing that, but it's just momentum grows so much. And then one of the reasons I brought Megan on is she became a health coach at about the beginning of November or right about, and her first 2 months, she was working her head off, sowing seeds, creating. Remember, she has no weight loss story. Sowing seeds, working really hard, and she said, I'm gonna work really hard. I'm gonna really work hard. Her clients weren't coming as fast as she was hoping because it is the holiday, and it's the first time they had ever heard or knew what she did. But oh my goodness, the seeds that she planted in November, December, January, and February, and it was in a very short order that she was executive director and made it to go global, which I believe that was your reason for going to getting reach executive director, so you could qualify. And so I think Megan is a prime example of the importance of putting those seeds in the ground this time of year, watering them, making connections with people, and being strong. We won't talk about more, but Christmas letters, we'll talk about that another time, or Doug will on your team. But it's a great time, again, to share what's happening, and then just a little bit about your business. So ordering your client's order first. Doug asked me to go over this, and I think that's because sometimes it still gets overlooked. And for those of you who go on and order the Optimal Kit, it sounds so easy, like why would anyone do anything different? But sometimes as new coaches, it's so easy to want to make things fit that person exactly. If they said they love chocolate, then you're going through and you're thinking, well, I should actually choose all the chocolate things, or what have you. And then it becomes a very long process. And when we spend an hour and a half with someone helping pick out their food, it just means it's about an hour and 20 minutes that we could have spent somewhere else, because it only takes about 10 minutes or less, 5 minutes to place an order. And the reason we start with the Optimal Variety Pack, number one, we need them to have the Habits of Health book and workbook. If we don't order that, we've just done a very big disservice to them. It's just a diet. And there is no way that we as coaches can provide all the information. I'm not as smart as Dr. Anderson, and I wouldn't have any way to systematically give that to a client. So it's really important, because that's their lifeline, not only to reach a healthy weight, but to sustainably keep it off. And so I actually have had a few people, over the years tell me, well, I can't. And you know what I said? Then don't order the food. It's more important that you get the Habits of Health book and workbook than that you start the program, because I can't coach you, and I don't coach anyone without this. It's what we work from. And then they're like, oh, it must be important. So that's all. And just supporting your clients weekly with your voice or a video. But text and email is an extra layer, but it's not a substitute for your voice. They need to hear your heart. They need to, how we were talking about clients becoming clients through text and email. You can't hear tone. We can't hear hope and inspiration through words, no matter how good your wordsmithing is. So it's important that they hear your voice, even if you're getting voicemail every week. Guess what? You're going to say it just as if they're there. So you don't know if they've been on program because they haven't talked to them in 5 weeks. Hey, Sally. Hey, it's Paula. I'm sure you're doing amazing. I can't wait to hear from you. This week, I just wanted to remind you the benefits of water. You may already know this because you've read it in, Dr. Anderson's chapter, whatever. But did you realize, of number one, metabolism in our fat, and you just start to reiterate all of the aspects of one of your habits of health. So that gives you something to say. And personally, I choose a tip to talk with everyone about for the week, and that is easier for me. And of course, obviously, if they have their personal things, we're going to work through that. But anyway, just especially on those voicemails, don't just ask them to call you back. Leave something of value so that they have a reason to listen to those calls each week. So basically, 2016, it's going to be here very soon. 6 weeks, crazy as that is. And I just want to talk about your outcome of 2016 and where you want to go. It depends on the actions that we're doing now. So, because guess what? We pull back, we lose momentum, even in here. And just like a client that goes off program, they kind of lose momentum. As coaches, we do too. And it's a little bit hard to get the ball rolling again and start thinking and who we've shared with. So, thank you so much, you guys. Does anyone want to give us some holiday tips or anything, maybe commenting on something that Megan or Jason shared that you've had personal experience or that you would want to ask them a question? Just pop yourself off mute and we'll just go about 10 more minutes and we'll end here.
Yeah, this is Kaylin Iggy. I would really like to hear from Jason, and if There was a question on there that said, if the person asks me to send them something, what do I do? I would really like to hear an answer for that, because that has just happened to me just yesterday. And I'm sitting going, oh my gosh, they're answering my question.
That's perfect, Kay. Okay, Jason, are you still on? He may have had to go. He's in a different time zone, and I know it's real late there with little ones. So, Kay, I'll step in and answer. Usually I'll send a message. I'll say, okay, do you have an email? I mean, obviously if they've really pushed it, and I'll just send a quick note that said, I love helping my clients not only reach a healthy weight, but learn the habits to maintain it. And then I'll usually attach a couple of before and after photos that are similar to whoever I was talking to. Maybe if it was a male or female or a family, I attach those. And then Dr. Anderson's ebook would be probably a great example. Those are the best choices I know. I'm not going to send them to my website or send them anything about the 5-in-1 because I don't know what they're looking for. But Dr. Anderson's ebook, 2 hours long, it fits everyone. So just say, this really gives you the awakening. Does that help, Kay?
Thanks, Paula. But what she wanted me to do was send something. Now, she's my age, so she's of the older generation. And she wanted me to send her something in the mail.
Oh.
She did not give me a phone number, an email. She actually put her address
Okay.
in the comment area.
That's awesome. Okay, so in that case, we do have some brochures. I don't use brochures, but I do have a few. It's the PATH brochure. Maybe one of you guys could quote it. It's real thin. Yep. And what I love about it, it talks about our 6 steps, but it really doesn't go into depth. But that's about the only one I would send by mail.
Can I interject you, Paula?
Please.
I don't know, Kaylin, if I've already texted this to you or not, but one other thing that I would suggest is first just trying to see and just say, like, we're very relationship based. It's very just based off what the person needs. And we have different programs, which is true because we have 6 or 7 different programs between the nursing moms and diabetes. And anyway, so I really don't have much to send. Could we hop on the phone or grab coffee? And then if they're like, no, I really want some information, then okay, fine. But I've been coaching for 2 years and I've never sent anything in the mail ever. So
yeah, this lady isn't even in the state. She was one of my high school buddies, and she still lives in Cumberland, Maryland, and of course I'm in Western Pennsylvania. So, and I wrote those kinds of things. She made a comment about a month ago also, and I sent something immediately thinking she was right there on Facebook. She never answered it. She never got back to me. Now she asked again. I got right on it again. She hasn't even answered me. I said, hey, I'd love to chat with you. Hey, my phone number is such and such. If you want to give me a call or give me your phone number, I'd love to chat with you and catch up.
it sounds like you did everything right then, so just don't even worry about it.
I have the brochure that I got in the kit. I'm going to send her a brochure.
Perfect.
That's going to be.
And then Kay, you might mention, her name, Sally or whatever. I sent you a private message because some people who aren't tech savvy, they don't understand the messages. And so that way she could at least ask someone to show it to her. And in that, we can put the link to Dr. Anderson's book. So it's just a thought.
Hey, Paula.
Yes.
Jason, sorry, I had to go put a kid to bed, so I'm back now. So I just want to say also your Explore page is a good resource because it really doesn't give too much more information than a brochure will, but it's just a good way for somebody if they want that instant satisfaction.
Yeah.
So basically that's just your website /Explore. And then of course that is a last resort.
Jason, and then the other one is your non-branded website, which really just talks about the habits of health and health coaching. So that would be another one, which is your website .ichooseoptimalhealth.com. So absolutely. Thanks, Jason. Okay, time for 1 or 2 more questions or comments.
Paula, I saw a question in the feed also. I think Sherry said, like, documenting the questions tonight. I think Sherry said, like, what if it makes them uncomfortable or something like that? What if they prefer not to do a three-way call? It's all in how you posture it. I don't think I've really ever had anybody protest when I posture it correctly. I have had people protest it when I don't posture it correctly, but I've just said, hey, the things we talked about earlier, I just want to introduce you to my coach. She will be a support to you. Here's the link. Can't wait to see you on Zoom. And then if they're like, oh, I don't like to talk on the phone unless it's with only one person or something weird like that, I guess navigate that with your business coach. But I've found that if you posture it correctly, it works out well. I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that, Paula or Jason, but all in the posturing.
On the posturing. And you guys are sorry, when I was on full screen, I couldn't see any of the chats. So if anyone else saw them, the questions, I'd be happy to have you repeat them. So some people don't have instant chat on Facebook. Yes, that is true. That is true, Wendy. I forgot about that. But yeah, Rhonda posted in here, coaching a client the same week. And it was really easy because then she said, hey, I don't have all the answers yet. I'm still learning myself. And Paula, you can even just call them by first name. Will be on with us. And she's just going to kind of listen in and see if there's any questions that maybe I can't answer. I'm still pretty new at this. Yeah, thanks. Well, everyone, thank you so much. And 6 weeks. Thanksgiving's coming up. You got holiday parties. I think we talked a lot about that in the client support Zoom. So be strong in not only setting the example, but supporting your clients, because this is when they need it more than anything, is these 2 months, right? So with that said, everyone, have a great night.